guys, welcome back to my channel. I always film when the garbage truck goes by. Always. Just another Monday in the Davis household. Alright, I am coming at you today with my next installment of my top 5 favorite products. Now, when I was going back through like the ones that I've done before, I think I skipped over this one. I think I should have done this one before highlighters or maybe even before blushes. I don't really know where my mind was when I was going in order, because when I went back to check, I think it was kind of all over the place. So regardless, I should be doing bronzers if I shouldn't have already been doing bronzers. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to talk about my top 5 favorite bronzers. To reiterate, if you have been with me forever or if you are new, this is an updated version of my top 5 bronzers. You know what? Let me find out when I posted the last one. Okay, so the last one I posted, oh y'all, yeah, I should have done this already. November 25th, 2016. So it's been well over a year since I posted my top favorite bronzers. I will say that only 2 of them made it back into my top 5, which in all honesty is really top 6, because next to foundation, bronzers are my absolute favorite makeup product. I cannot go without a bronzer. I can go without a highlight. I can go without a blush. I can really go without lipstick. I mean, I can do chapstick. I cannot go without a bronzer. If I put any kind of foundation or makeup on my face, bronzer will be on my face. I love all aspects of it. I love how it warms up a face. I love how it can make you look like you just got off of the beach. I love how it can bring life and dimension back into a face. I love bronzers, okay? So that is why, you know, it really is 6 instead of 5. As always, I like to tell you how many bronzers I have so you can know how hard or how easy it may have been for me to narrow it down to 5 or 6. So as far as powder bronzers are concerned, which all we're going to talk about today is powders, I have 30 individual powder bronzers, and that's not including what I carry in my kit. Some of these I have repeated in my kit because I love them so much, but this is just what I have in my bronzer drawer. So to give you a little background about what I love the most about bronzers, I like for a bronzer to be a little bit on the warmer tone end of the spectrum. I don't necessarily want it to be orange, but I do want it to have a nice warm undertone. I like it to actually mimic me being out in the sun or a suntan. Even a red undertone I prefer to a more cooler undertone. A cooler undertone to me, I feel like you should probably save that for contour. I personally don't contour my own face, so I just tend to gravitate towards warmer bronzers. I also, in all things glowy, love on my skin. I like for a bronzer to have a sheen. I do not personally gravitate towards a matte bronzer. There are definitely times and places for them. I carry many matte bronzers in my kit. However, for myself, I prefer something with a little bit of a sheen, not sparkle, not glitter. I just want it to give a little bit of a nice glow and luminescent effect to my face. So all of these have that, just so you know. So if you are somebody that absolutely cannot handle a bronzer with sheen or does not find that they have a place on your face, you're probably not going to enjoy my top 5. I'm just saying. But if you like something that gives you radiance, which equals youthfulness in my opinion when it comes to skin, then you will want to stay and watch my top 5 bronzers. And so let's go ahead and get into it. I try to always tell you what my bronzers were in my last video, or what my top 5 products were. So the last time I did this, I had 6 then too. Okay. I had the Balm Desert Bronzer. Did not make it in this time, but I still love it. I just really almost am out of it, so I don't reach for it. The Laura Mercier Ritual Blush and Bronzer, still like it, but let me show you something. I have not used this in ages because I went to use it one time. This is it right here. And this marbling right here, the really dark marbling, apparently my brush picked up too much of that and it didn't blend it out well enough, because it looked, I had to take my makeup off, which you can imagine at that point, I was almost done. I was so mad because it put like black streaks on my face. It looks so muddy. So I have not picked this up since then because I'm scared it's going to do it again. So that did not make it in. The Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, I now have that in my kit. So it's not that I don't love it. It's just that I personally don't reach for it because it's not in my drawer. NARS Laguna, I have run out of. The Hourglass Ambient Light Bronzer and the IT Cosmetics CC Ombre Bronzer. The IT Cosmetics CC Ombre Bronzer was my absolute favorite one. So we will see if it makes it to the top today and in this version. As always, I'm not going to go in any particular order until I get to the very last one, which will be my very favorite out of all of them. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and spoil it and let you know that the IT Cosmetics CC Bronzer is not in my top spot anymore. However, it still holds a place in my top 5. I actually had to repurchase another one because I ran out of my other one. And honestly, I have 30 bronzers. And for me to run out of a bronzer and repurchase it says a lot. So please know that this is still a very large favorite of mine. I know that a lot of you purchased this after you saw that it was my very favorite, the last one I did, and you all came back to me and said you absolutely love it too. So I'm so happy to hear that. It is a kind of a mixture between a bronzer and a highlight. So it is an ombre bronzer, as the name says. It's got a darker version right here. It gradients to a lighter, and then finally this is more of a highlighter. I stick to the bronzing side of it when I use this product. The highlighter is pretty. However, I find that because it is somewhat mixed in with the bronzer color, it's a little bit too dark for my face as a highlighter, but I have used it as eyeshadow before when I've traveled and didn't want to really pack a lot of stuff, and I love it that way. So just another way. I know some people who want the bronzer to be a little lighter will mix it all. The bronzer does have a little bit of shimmer on it, but I'm telling you, nothing, it just looks airbrushed. It never fails me. None of these bronzers ever fail me, or they wouldn't have made it in my top 10. But to know that I have repurchased this, because I completely ran out of the other one, you have to know how much I love this bronzer. I will go ahead and mention the only other bronzer that's making a repeat appearance from my last video, and that is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light. I have since bought the, is it the nude? I think the nude bronze light, which I found to be a little bit too light on my skin, so I put it in my kit and I adore it. For anybody that has lighter skin, I use that all the time, and it is a little bit more matte than this. This is an Hourglass powder product, which means if you swatch it, you're not gonna like it. End of story. The blushes swatch awful. The bronzers don't swatch all that good at all. It looks extremely really brown in the pan, and when you swatch it, it does as well. But I'm telling you, when it, like, I don't even know if it's going to show up. That's it right there. I don't know how well I don't ever know how well it's showing up until I edit it. It just doesn't swatch like it performs on the skin. It's very, very beautiful. If you have mature skin, buy this bronzer. Buy this bronzer. I will carry this on weddings that I know I'm having a lot of older family members. I don't want to say older, that sounds bad, but you know, moms of the brides, grandmothers of the brides, aunts of the brides, that kind of stuff. If I know I'm having a lot of family members to do like that, I will carry this bronzer, and it's almost all that I use on them because it looks so flattering. Again, radiance in skin really, in my opinion, equals youthfulness, and everybody has absolutely adored this that I've used on it. It's perfect for all skin types, but especially if you're over 30 or if you're over 50 or if you're over 70. Honestly, I think everybody can use this bronzer. This is probably going to come as no surprise. This is really the only one in the top 6 that I'm going to talk about that has more of a red undertone than a warm one. And this is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Bronzed Bondi. Y'all, these bronzers are so good. I bought Capri Coast for my kit, and I have Empinima Sun on the way from Octoly. So I'm so excited to have that. That way I'll have 3 nice colors. I'm going to feature this in, I'm going to try to do a face using a lot of Becca products, and I'm going to feature one of those in there. I'm telling you, again, it has a sheen, but I mean a sheen. This is probably the closest one to matte that I have, but it does have more of a, I don't know if it's even going to come across, but a reddish undertone, which I think gives the most natural effect of, hey, I just got out of the tan or out of the sun. I maybe burned just a little bit, which obviously we don't really want to do. I just heard my dog made a noise downstairs and he's by himself. I'll go down to like a chewed up stuffed animal. You don't obviously really want to burn your face, but the effect of like a just tinge of a burn, but really good sun on your face is so gorgeous. And that's what this bronzer does. I absolutely love it. The next one is something that kind of surprised me. I got this in a gift with purchase from Ulta. I probably never would have bought it by itself, but I am so glad it was in that gift with purchase, obviously, because it has made it into my favorites. And this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. Now this is not the matte version. This is, I guess, the original. It doesn't say luminous on the packaging, but I do know that the other one says matte. So maybe this is just the original, but it comes in like that crocodile kind of leather imprinted look. This one also has a sheen to it. Yes, I need to change my battery. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so this one also has a sheen to it. It's gonna be, out of the ones I've swatched, which, let me go ahead. I didn't swatch the It Cosmetics one. For comparison purposes, let me do that. The It Cosmetics is the most cool toned out of the whole bunch, just so you know. Let me take my hair tie off. Okay, so right down here is the It Cosmetics. You can see it's much cooler than the others. Up here is the Tarte, which is the one that I was talking about before I got sidetracked. It is the warmest one out of the ones that I've swatched so far. But man, oh man, it gives such a gorgeous finish to the face. When I got this, I was kind of reluctant to try it at first. And when I did, I don't think I used another one for like a week and a half. I'm surprised it didn't make it into a favorite, honestly, because I did reach for this so much when I first got it. And I still do. It's still on heavy rotation with these other bronzers. This one you just saw me use in my last video. And it is the Glow Skin Beauty Bronze, just as bronze, but bronzer in sunlight. So this is it right here. It doesn't look like much in the pan. When I first got it, I'm like, oh, that doesn't even look like it's gonna really show up on me, but it does. Love it. I'm running out of room. Okay, this is a very similar undertone to the It Cosmetics, and it swatches much less warm looking than it looks in the pan. So that's it right here, if you can tell. So that's the Glow Skin and that's the It Cosmetics, and then these are the others. So you can tell it's a little less warm than the others, but it still imparts a nice warm glow on the face. None of these have shimmer in them. I have to reiterate that. Even the It Cosmetics one, it's just a sheen. It's not a flat matte, okay? I don't want anybody to be like, hold up, I don't want shimmer on my face where a bronzer is supposed to be. No, you shouldn't want that because that's not where you need shimmer. But a sheen, you need a sheen. I love it. All right, that is the 5. Now we are up to my absolute very favorite bronzer as of right now, as of the past 3 months, since I bought it and started using it. It's what I have on my face today. I don't envision it changing anytime soon. And it's drugstore, y'all. It's the cheapest one out of all of them. I think it's still like $16, but still, it's drugstore. And it is the Note Cosmetics Bronzing Powder. This is in the color 20, which is the middle shade. They only have 3 shades. I don't understand these companies. I don't agree with the companies, but they only have 3 shades. I don't know how. I feel like I got 30 and it was lighter than this. I don't know. I don't know if they're in stores, but 20 is what works for me. Again, it's what is on my face right now. This is a huge pan. It is 20 grams. And the It Cosmetics, which is also huge, is only 16.17 grams. So that tells you right there, the Glow Skin Beauty, I don't know how many grams you are. So the Hourglass is only 11. So you're getting 20 huge grams in this very large packaging. But I'm telling you, this is so soft. So soft. I don't have anywhere to swatch it. It's going to be on my knuckles. You're not really going to be able to tell. Can you see that up on my knuckles? Oh my goodness, I don't get the award for best swatching. I have always struggled with swatching and I don't see that ever stopping anytime soon. If I do that, there, I think you can see it a little bit better now. So that is all 6 of my favorites. Starting down here with Glow Skin, It Cosmetics. This one was the Hourglass, Becca, Tarte, and then this is the Note. So they're very similar. The Note is very similar in color, but again, it's a little warm. It's more, I think it's the closest to the Tarte, Park Avenue Princess. But I'm telling you what, this is a bronzer you cannot mess up. I use all of these bronzers with my Wayne Goss number 11 brush. I've touched on that. It was in my last favorites. I adore it. And I'm telling you, nothing needs to be reblended out. This goes on like the finest milled powder you have ever put on your face. It blends itself. I mean, it blends itself. I've used it with other brushes and I've never had an issue with it. I can't speak highly enough. For me and my skin tone, it just always looks like I want a bronzer to look. So I can't ask for much more than that. So that is my top 6 bronzers. Probably talked way too long, but hopefully you got some ideas or some confirmation of like, you know what? I used to like that bronzer too. I'm gonna get that out of my drawer, or I love that bronzer too. I'm glad I'm not the only one, or I've never tried that. I wanna give it a try. Either way, I hope this video helped you in some form or fashion. I always want to know your favorite of the topic we're talking about. So be sure and let me know your favorite all-time bronzer. I still have a drawer full of bronzers that I love. If I've talked about loving another bronzer in the past in favorites videos, I haven't stopped loving any of them. It's just these are the ones that call my name when I open my bronzer drawer. So let me know your favorite bronzer down below, and be sure and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I really appreciate y'all watching, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.